Guys, I wanted to talk a bit about Disney right now because there's a story on our website. Thanks.
What do you got? You got something?
Yeah, I've got a little something.
Okay.
We got a little something we want to put some perspective around because that's important. But the activist spotlight, our friend Ken Squire at 13D Monitor notes that ValueAct has been building a stake in Disney.
Oh, come on.
And that is the case. Certainly can also confirm that. But, very different from what we talk about with Nelson Peltz and the possibility still of him running a slate of nominees for Disney's board. This is not the case here at all. Okay. However, I can tell you, and again, Ken reporting this as well, that this is a large position for ValueAct. It's about $11 billion firm, so you can take a guess. Don't know where it is, probably $1 billion, maybe less, somewhere in there as a guess. They started building this in the summer. They continue to buy stock, is my understanding as well. And they've talked to Bob Iger. Mason Morford, who runs ValueAct, has been in constant discussion, not constant, has been in discussion with Iger, is supportive of the current strategy. And in fact, they've known each other for years. Morford, they've done some media stuff in the past. Obviously, Jeff Ubben, who I know quite well, who used to run this firm, founded this firm, was on the Fox board. New York Times is another name they did. Spotify.
Geez, those are wins. The Times has some great
numbers. And to
numbers.
remind people, they came in Salesforce ValueAct, remember? And sort of acted as kind of almost the peacemaker with all the other activists. And then Mason went on the board. Now, unclear to me whether, in fact, that would actually occur here, but you can't dismiss that as a possibility, and it would almost be used to blunt any opportunity that they might see in terms of Peltz by saying, hey, we're putting this guy on the board. He's got some of the background we're looking for. They are an activist. But again, sort of broadly speaking, that's a definition there that is not necessarily the same in terms of how it applies. My understanding is, listen, they like the theme parks business, as you might imagine, in terms of the cash that it's providing. $10 billion of profits for parks, the streaming wars resolution. They just feel like there are multiple decision points that are going to end up being positive. And as I said, this is a supportive activist at this point.
Did you read Deutsche Bank?
Although one that is important when it comes to succession. They have been involved previously in succession, particularly most notably at Microsoft. Of course, that worked out pretty darn well.
That's very good.
Mason was on the board there. Briefly overlapped with Hugh Johnson, I think, who is the CFO now at Disney, but also, I think, with their general counsel as well on that board. So we'll see how this ends up, but wanted to note it. Thanks again to Ken Squire as well at 13D Monitor for bringing that to CNBC.com.
Are you saying that Mason could be like what happened with Elliott as Peltz? Like, Elliott comes in, not happy at all with Mark Benioff.
Yes, that's exactly
Peltz
what
comes
I'm
in
saying.
And is still not that thrilled, by the way, what's going on at Disney. You should know that.
Right.
And these guys come in and say, hey, we can make something work.
We'll be there. We can
But
help.
Does Peltz want on the board? I think if the stock doesn't go up soon.
Peltz still wants on the board, Jim. You tell me.
Yes, because there's a lot of things that are wrong.
Disney does not want him on the board.
Well,
so there is still a potential of a fight there. I think there's a sense after this last quarter that Disney is in a better position, certainly than it was even a short time ago. We've reported on and talked about the fact that much of the stake that Trian claims is really Ike Perlmutter's stock, which is interesting.
Well, what's the matter with that?
Well, they didn't put up their own money. That's what's the matter.
Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares?
Who cares?
They're an activist.
Ike Perlmutter's friends with Nelson Peltz. How about this? That the stock is down big, and Ike Perlmutter has every reason to be agitated.
Completely true.
I mean, he's been crushed.
Completely true. And he's outsourcing the form of activism to his friend, Mr. Peltz.
Outsourcing?
Right.
What do you think? It's like automatic data processing or something? Outsourcing.
Anyhow,
Aramark?
We've shared what we have on ValueAct at this point, but they will, they're an important shareholder here.
Not
one of the, again, $1 billion, it's still percentage-wise not much.
Well, look, the Deutsche Bank piece is talking about the turn.
Even if it is that high, and I'm not sure it is.
It's talking about a turn. And
yes, positive piece.
It's a very positive piece, but I think that you get these guys, the billionaire class, okay, and if they lose a lot of money after they built a lifetime of a business and then it gets turned into something that people don't think is any good, well, they get angry. Carl, there's nothing matter with being angry when you lose billions. I mean, even billionaires, when they lose billions, have a right to be angry. I mean, not that Lenin did not agree with it. But
The rich are just like us. They're angry when they lose money.
It's
I
their
know
own
you're
darn
talking
fault
about
they're
when you
happy.
mentioned Lenin.
You do?
Sadly, you're not talking about John. who I love. But yeah, we're talking about Vlad.
What is to be done, David? Still the best book I've read on the revolution.
I know. I've always pointed out Chernyshevsky wrote it before Lenin did.